Hello and Goyenda, and welcome to the beautiful Faroe Islands, the dramatic North Atlantic islands about halfway between Iceland, Norway and Scotland that are technically part of the Kingdom of Denmark, but are almost, just not quite entirely, their own independent country, with their own separate Faroese language, culture, parliament, football team, banknotes and flag. But perhaps the biggest difference between the two, in the literal sense, is what we're looking at today. Because a couple of years ago, I climbed the highest mountain in Denmark. And I don't want to show off, but it was quite an achievement to get away with calling that a mountain. And today, I'm attempting to climb the highest mountain in the Faroe Islands. And the worst thing is, that's not even it. The mountain I'm pointing at is actually the second highest mountain in the Faroe Islands, and the one we want is the even bigger one hiding behind it. Which raises a couple of questions. Am I going to be able to climb that? And am I even going to be able to say that? Well, spoiler alert, at least one of those attempts is about to go wrong. This is the mighty Slættaratindur. Now, in order to climb Slættaratindur, I think you'll agree, first we need to get to Slættaratindur. I've started my day in a gorgeous little fishing village called Djegv, or something like that. It was the closest place I could find somewhere to stay. But that means I now have a 2-hour hike just to get to the car park at the bottom of the mountain. And don't get me wrong, in scenery like this, and in weather like this, I am very happy to walk the whole way rather than hiring a car or a taxi. The only problem with that plan is, in 2 hours, it's forecast to start raining. Okay, I may have cheated slightly. Just as I was walking up the road out of Djegv, this van came past and slowed down next to me. So I asked them if they were coming up to Slættaratindur, and they said yes. And I asked them how much would it cost for me to jump in your van and go up to the bottom of the mountain, and they took me for free. So yeah, we are now at the bottom of the trail, and that is Slættaratindur. So I guess we better start climbing it. Right, we're going to have to see how this goes today, because well, apparently the first bit is very steep, and then it levels out a bit. Well, not levels out, but it's less steep later on. But then later on, as you can see, there is snow. And I didn't really bring any crampons or anything like that, which is a bit stupid. I just bumped into these two guys, the couple going downhill. They are Belgians and viewers of the Tim Traveller channel. And they said that it gets very slippery near the top, and they weren't able to make it all the way up to the summit. So, yeah. Now, in theory, this shouldn't be a difficult mountain to climb, and you shouldn't need special equipment. The guidebooks say that as long as you're here in the summer months, all you really need is a decent pair of hiking shoes. But what I'm learning today is that when a Faroese person says the summer, they're talking about 8 weeks from the end of June to the beginning of August. And the rest of the year, well, that's the winter. Right. We're about 500, 600 metres up now. And it is getting snowier and icier and slipperier. And there's still about another 200 metres to go. So, I'm not sure how much further we're going to get here. But we're going to do our best. To be fair, this bit, it's a little bit less steep and a little easier. Famous last words. It's beginning to get a little bit sketchy here. most of the path is fine, but then you just get bits like this, which, I mean, it looks like that's a little stream that's frozen over. And to get from where I am now to the rest of the path, I've got to cross that. And it's just one slip, and yeah. Now, despite the reputation I've got myself on this channel, I have climbed mountains bigger than this, sometimes in temperatures that were colder than this, and in conditions that were snowier than this. But that's actually one of the problems I'm having here. Because the snow is currently melting, it is much slipperier underfoot than if it was just snow. And because I wasn't expecting there to be snow, I haven't brought the snow grips that I usually put on my shoes. So although I obviously want to make it all the way to the summit, I'm beginning to realise that final section is just not going to be worth risking with the kind of grip I've got. And like they say, a bad mountaineer blames their equipment. And I blame my shoes. Right. I'm now probably only another 100, 200 metres from the summit. It's only just up there. But I've been speaking to some of the people who've been coming down on my way up, and they all said they got about to that rock there, and then after that it turns right, goes very steeply upwards, it's very snowy, and basically you're not doing it without proper equipment. So yeah, I think this might be it. Am I going to have to come back here someday and climb it again? Yes. Is it better to bring you 3/4 of a video than no video at all? Also yes. Still, in the words of the great philosopher Andrew, I've seen worse views. So there we go. Is Slættaratindur harder to climb or harder to say? Well, I reckon in both cases, I got about 3/4 of the way there. But if there are any Faroese speakers watching this video, we're relying on you for a final verdict. And in the meantime, if you'd like to try and climb the highest mountain in the Faroe Islands, apparently there are only a few days every year when it is not covered in either snow or rain clouds. But the best time to try is between late June and early August. And incidentally, it is possible to get there by public transport. There are buses that go to Djurgv and drive past the mountain on the way. But since they're not exactly frequent, you may prefer to hire a car or simply walk. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.